December of '71 is when the Capitol opened. The summer before that, we did a show at Wall Stadium down the shore, and it was the first really big show I ever did. It was Jefferson Airplane when they were at the absolute height of their career. We saw, those of you that live down here and know Wall Stadium, it's a little racetrack, midget car racetrack, I think it is. I think it's still there. We sold 15,000 tickets, which was like gigantic, you know, at the time. And then the city or the township of Wall decided to try to join us.
That's not a good thing, right?
No, it's not a good thing. And I had, my lawyer at the time was a guy who eventually was one of the owners of the Bottom Line in New York. But he was a New York attorney and he didn't know anything about New Jersey law. So he tracked down the Asbury Park firm of Van Shelowitz, Barr, Ansel, and Bonello. And a guy named Robert Ansel. Robert?
Robert.
Yeah, Robert. I have some people who help me cheat here. We hired Robert, and he had a young, probably just a year or two or three out of law school, associate named Al Lair, who Al's wife, Mary Ann, is here tonight. And to make a long story short, I can tell all these stories much longer than I'm believe me. But to make a long story short, you know, we went to court and we won the injunction. And we, you know, they had the injunction drop. And I asked a couple of people here. I guess we couldn't find it, but there was an Asbury Park Press front page headline: "Airplane to fly Saturday." You know, I'd love to have it. I mean, but it was great. And then Al became one of my best friends. When my kids were little, he and Mary Ann were going to get the kids when somebody eventually killed me. Yes. So we did that show down here. So you know, I've got a lot of beginnings and a lot of history down here. And we opened the Capitol in December of '71, about 6 months after the Fillmore East closed in New York City. And when the Fillmore was open, it was very hard to get big acts to come to New Jersey because there was an exclusivity. You couldn't play within 75 miles of New York City. So, you know, I was doing shows, you know, at colleges and in various places around, but it was always after they had played the Fillmore, like 6 months later. Anyway, the Fillmore closed because at the time Bill Graham, who owned it, thought that the industry was getting too commercialized. He's rolling over his grave right now when he sees what's happened now. But it gave us the opportunity to open the Capitol, and the Capitol became very successful, very embraced by my generation. The thing that was cool about the time with me is, you know, I was doing these shows and it was my own generation. And so both the Capitol and when we started in Asbury a couple of years later at the Casino Arena, I haven't seen one of those shirts in decades. And then moved to Convention Hall. It was our place. It wasn't mom and dad's arena or stadium or theater at the time. It was our place, and it worked for everybody. It worked. We got lots of staff here that worked there, that have stayed friends, made lifelong friends from those days. And then we after a couple of years, we closed down the Capitol in July and August and moved on down to Asbury for the summer. You know, again, everybody, including me, you know, this was just a hoot. You know, we were getting paid and making money to put on rock and roll shows and spending the summer on the shore. You know, what more could you have possibly asked for?